Okay, we're live. It's been long awaited. I cannot believe what we went through to do this. We tried 3 times earlier today, Brian, to go
Yeah.
live, but it's okay. Like LinkedIn Live wasn't working, but we had a great conversation on and off for 30 minutes. Talked about a lot of things, found out a lot of similarities. Talked about our buddy Janayad. Talked about our shared culture, where we come from, or our religion at least. We don't have to talk about that though. And yeah, we talked about a lot of things. But now, Brian, as I had mentioned to you earlier, I'm very curious about you because you're just like crushing it on LinkedIn. I actually named, what did I name the broadcast? I named it. I
Oh
think
my
it was
goodness. I just saw
what's it called?
make 100K on LinkedIn this year and rack up 126,000 profile views.
Dude, what's up with that? You got 126,000 profile views in the last 90 days on LinkedIn?
Well, no, it's been higher now. I'm not trying to brag. It's
No,
138 now.
I'm dude,
Yeah,
you're not. Like
it's crazy.
just tell us the facts here. Like I want to know. I really want to know this.
It's crazy. I have my website every single day. I have to up my followers by 5,000. So someone, David Rosendahl, he's helping me a lot with this. He's going to give me a script so that I don't have to actually update the count on how many followers I have
Mm.
because every day I'm up increasing by 5,000.
How many?
Which is
Yeah, how many? Like LinkedIn followers, 5,000 per
yeah.
day,
So
dude.
4 months
I
ago or
can't
so,
even
I had
believe that.
5,000, and now it's 90,000
So hold on.
organically, organically with no
How
cost
does that math
whatsoever.
work? If you have 90,000 followers now, and you're making 5,000 per day.
Well, give or take. But
Yeah, well,
don't get
some days you get
yeah,
5,000.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, because it's been I think October of 2018 till now, January, that I've gone from maybe 5,000 to I think it's at 35,700 right now, 35,700. And it's just been this slow climb. And when you average it out over that time period, and I'm sure someone's gonna hear me say that and do math right now, but I've done it before where like it's just been so consistent in 50 followers per day. There's days when I get 100. There's never a day when I get 1,000
No,
followers per day.
never for
Never.
you.
No. So like
You're a machine though. You're
I
killing it. Like I look up to
that's what
you.
people think. But like, how is it that my result? This is why I'm talking to you today, Brian, because I feel that my results have kind of stagnated. You see, like my the amount of followers I get per day doesn't really it doesn't really jump, and it hasn't really increased. Like it hasn't been going, it's just stayed at like 50, around that. And
Okay.
also even like the engagement that I get on posts. Like what is it that just and I really wanted to because we talked so much today. To and I want to make this so actionable for the viewer,
Yeah.
right? This is what they want, especially from Brian Golod, right? Mr. Brian Golod, the master of my LinkedIn guru right now, as far as I'm concerned. What
Thank
is
you.
it that just has clicked for you over the past few months? How long ago you said you had 5,000?
So I'll tell you this. Let's say 4 or 5 months ago, I had 5,000 followers. I know for a fact that on December 5th, I had 30,000 followers. Okay. Um,
Dude,
it's
whoa.
January
That
28th today, and I am at 90,000. So in 6 weeks, I've gotten 60,000 followers. Sure, it's not 5,000 followers a day. I'm not trying to
well,
say that
dude,
that's every single day, but
it's a
there have
lot.
been days where I've had in a single day 17,000 followers. So it's crazy. So one of the things that I strive to do, and it's really hard, and I want to be as humble and transparent and open as I can with
Yeah,
this, I've made a really decent amount of money on LinkedIn as a side gig.
I know.
But I've been completely transparent about this with people. I'm not trying to show off or brag about it. I've been trying to empower and inspire other people. I've even put together a program that, sure, I charge for. On day one, 90 minutes, I just open it up for people to see whether this resonates with them, with what they want to do. And if it does, great, they can consume
Yeah.
the next 3 days. Now, I want to give. That's my nature. I just
Sure.
love giving. And you will see me on LinkedIn always saying, give, give, give. And when you think that you're done giving, give again. And my most successful post just happened a few days ago when I realized, wait a second,
The 2 million views or something.
now it's 3. So here's what it is.
I
This
don't
is
know how
a
to do that, man.
free ATS resume template. Why did I give it away for free? I wasn't trying to get all this traction. I just realized, I was like, I am trying to help candidates get back on their feet so they can advance in their careers. I was like, a lot of candidates cannot even get an interview. I am making all this money on the side. I can provide to my children, who are my most precious thing. I can feed my family. I have peace of mind that when I go to bed, nothing is going to happen. Whether something happens to me with my consulting role at an organization or anything happens, an emergency. I am right now in Argentina. I came to see my grandma for her first chemotherapy session. If anything happens, I'm blessed that nothing is going to affect me, God forbid. But I wasn't in this position, this comfortable position 2 years ago. I was actually incurring more debt and debt and debt. So now that I'm in a good position, I believe in putting my oxygen mask on somebody else's face. I want to help more people. And although people have paid $3,500 for my resume services, $3,500, I don't know anybody else who has been able to charge $3,500 for a resume. I thought to myself, I need to help people. That is what should be first. I can charge for other services, but that one, there are a lot of people who cannot even get an interview. So I was like, I just felt bad. I was like, you know what? I'm done with all this money. Of course, I love money like everybody else, but not at the expense of people who cannot even get an interview. So anyway, I just put it out there. I got David Rosendahl. He has been amazing to me. He's set up a ClickFunnels type website. People just go there, they punch in their email addresses. You know as well, Jordan, that, I mean, if anything happens to my account on LinkedIn, they own my followers, right?
They do.
So now we are capturing all these email addresses so that if anything were to happen here, we can actually communicate with all these followers somewhere else. Or I can build myself up somewhere else later. I mean, it's not rocket science and there's nothing hidden.
Yeah.
So
I'm not through with like figuring this out yet, obviously. But like, what? Just a side question here. How difficult has it been for you to, gather the email addresses of your almost 100,000 followers now on LinkedIn? Because I don't have a ton of experience in that. Like, I put out one time like my lead magnet, and I had this brand new free course, how to become a rock star podcaster, and I put out a little video in August, and I got 86 leads from that. And now everyone that signs up for my course comes from my podcast, because it's now like either in the introduction of my podcast or it's in the middle, but it doesn't really have anything to do with LinkedIn. What has your success rate been on LinkedIn? How difficult has it been for you?
I'm glad that you're sitting down. So I posted that post, the 3 million view post, which now has like 30,000 likes and 26,000 comments and 7,000 or 8,000 shares or reshares. That since Friday, my database of email addresses now is at 20,000 plus. The last time that David told me how many email addresses I had was over 20,000 email addresses.
Amazing.
That was in like 4 or 5 days, something like that.
One post, man. I mean, granted, my post, when I made a post about it, it was a video, and it got, I think, either 3,900 views or 4,500 views. Like, so I think the success, the percentage that converted was like really good. I just didn't like. How are you reaching 3 million people? What was the offer again? It was
just gave away basically the ATS resume template that I've used for myself and for my candidates. It's been picked up by organizations like United Nations, Microsoft, and even LinkedIn.
Is this something you developed?
Basically, it was my own resume that I've been using for 15 years. And it somehow It was always ATS compatible since back in the day when I first.
What is ATS?
So ATS stands for
I'm so
applicant.
clueless with resumes.
No,
You have no idea.
you will never have to apply anywhere anyway, Jordan. Thank God
Thank you.
for you. So ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. There's some software that large organizations
Ah,
typically use to be able to parse out all the information that you or the content that you share on your resume, and for them to be able to easily dissect, okay, or filter, these are good applicants that match our job posting or our job description. And these other ones, well, maybe we cannot even tell what's inside that resume because it's not ATS compliant or compatible. And some others are like, well, this is not a good match, so we're not even going to bother entertaining those resumes. We're not even going to pay attention. So many large
mm,
organizations who have thousands of applicants, they have to rely on this software to try to be able to filter out or filter in the good candidates, right?
right.
Because it's just
Okay.
too much demand. So my resume, basically, a lot of people have called me out and they were like, this is just basically nothing. It's like plain text. I'm like, that's the beauty
Is
of
it a
an
Word
ATS resume.
document or?
It's a Word document, very simple, absolutely no design whatsoever. Not even a simple line on the resume. It's basically the order of the sections is in a particular order, and then there's no treatment
Sure.
to the fonts or to the design. There are no columns, no tables, nothing, no hyperlinks even. And then the ATS is able to pick it up. So one,
Where's,
yeah,
yeah, keep going because I'm gonna do a screen thing and I'm gonna actually pull up this post.
okay, mine, the crazy one.
Yeah, I am.
Oh my god.
Open system preferences.
So
Chrome
I
has lost
think
permission to capture your screen. Yeah, you keep going. I gotta fix my settings.
so. The thing here for me, if you want to do well on LinkedIn, in life in general, just be generous, give to other people, just try to help others. Don't worry so much about how much money you're going to make from anything that you do. Just try to help other people. Be genuine, transparent. That's the reason why I'm sharing so much. I've even shown my transactions, how much money I've made off of this platform because there's so many
I
people
know.
trusting me.
I
They
know.
trust me.
That's like I was gonna ask you about that too. That's very controversial too. I've
Is it?
actually been I mean, yeah, I mean it's a money's like a taboo thing to talk about, especially when you're like posting screenshots of how much you make. Now, I actually love it depends on the context, but I love the context of which you're doing it because like you're showing that this actually works and what you're like and you're kind of teaching people to do the same.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway, here's the thing.
Like
I didn't
and
study.
you're showing people that you're not just talking out of your ass.
No, and I didn't study marketing. I didn't study
It's
sales.
why I respect you actually.
I appreciate it. Me
Because
as
I mean
well.
it's one of it's I don't mean to say it's why, but like it's one of the reasons why. Because I know you're legit.
I appreciate it. Listen, we were talking about Jonayat before. I love this guy, and I was
Yep.
mentioning to you probably this didn't get captured earlier, so I'll say it now. I opened my home and my family to Jonayat. He came for schnitzel. I cooked for him and his sister. I had him twice at my home.
Love that
We've
schnitzel.
we've developed a real friendship with Jonayat and many other people. Okay, Anthony as well. He's amazing. Isabella's amazing
Oh
people,
yeah, Anthony. Yep, yep. Was
just
on our live with
amazing.
him briefly on Janiads a long time ago.
Listen,
Yeah.
Jonayat drove 8 hours from New York to just to see us. Okay, which
Where
is amazing.
I thought you were in New York now.
He's in New York. I'm in Toronto.
Okay.
So we developed, I never thought that I was going to develop friendships, real friendships. But the truth is that we are regular people behind the screen here.
I
And I
know.
treat people like people. I treat people like gold. And in many occasions, I may make mistakes, right? We're human beings. Sometimes I don't have the time. Sometimes I miss messages. Sometimes I say the wrong thing. But I'm trying to be as genuine as I can be. And typically, when people reach out to me and we go for coffee or we have a private Zoom, they're like, wow, dude, you're the exact same thing that I've seen online all along. I'm like, that's the whole point of being human. You don't have different faces depending on
Hmm.
how whether people see you or they don't. Be the exact same giving person, generous.
Sure. And I think so. Someone's comment here, what's your best marketing strategy? And I think that it's kind of what you're saying, being like this, being consistent, who you are. you know, and who your public persona matches your private persona, and you're very giving, which is like, you know, it's basic and it almost like goes without saying, but I agree with you, you know, but like, okay, so I actually can't pull up this post right now because it said I'd have to quit Chrome, so I'd have to quit this
No worries.
live broadcast, so I'm not gonna do
Do you want
that,
me to
but
do it instead? Do you want me to
yeah,
share
you
my
know what,
screen?
you have a share screen thing
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can do that.
at the
Give me
bottom here,
one
yeah, because
second.
I really want. Yeah,
I'll
I'll
share, and I
switch
will
this
show.
to.
Actually, should I actually go on Shield as well or not? Do you want to see the metrics
Oh,
behind it?
oh yeah, I would love
Because
to.
I also
Yeah,
have Shield. Okay.
I love Shield because okay, so with Shield, yeah, I've been like bragging to myself. I don't like say this in conversation, but like I like the fact that you know I saw in the last 6 months I've gotten one 1,905,000 views of my content in the past six
Wow.
months. And I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. It's this big number. I'm, like I said before, Brian, I am so consistent. It's not even funny. But I don't have any outliers. I don't have gigantic, like towering, multi 100,000 view posts. I also really don't have any like zeros either.
Okay.
You seem to have like just with this one post 3 million. You shattered in one day what I've had for the past 6 months, and people think I'm good at LinkedIn. You think I'm good at LinkedIn. You
Yeah.
told me that just a few minutes ago,
Yeah.
and this is a whole nother level.
I appreciate it. I here's the thing. I think that I should appreciate this about myself. And this is something that David Rosendahl, he always compliments me on this, which is I am always open to try new things. I am always open to experiment. I get bored so easily that I don't know, I just need to try something else to see whether something else actually
Sure.
works. What I am consistent about is showing up, right? I make it my thing to be present every single day, morning, sometimes, I don't know, noon, sometimes evening.
Oh, I can share my screen now.
Oh
Oh,
my
good.
goodness. That's like Inception,
Yeah.
a
It's
life
weird.
within a life.
It's working now, right?
Okay, amazing. You could find it.
Cool.
I couldn't even find it. I was looking for it.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah, because I don't know where it is.
How often do you post?
Twice a day at least.
Twice a day?
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I do once a day, sometimes twice a day. Like yesterday I did twice, and you can technically consider this twice today because I posted this morning. Now I'm going live. So,
here it is. Oh my
but my
goodness.
average, like according to Shield, I post 0.86 times per week. So I pretty much do like 6 out of 7 days.
Okay.
Oh, are you? Hold on. Oh, let's see.
So that
Um,
so that's what
oh,
happened with
this.
that post.
Yeah, and that was before it hit 3 million, obviously. It
Yeah.
was days ago.
Right now it's at 2.919. Okay.
We're
And it
almost there.
has 34,000 reactions and 29,000 comments.
Oh, here. And dude, wow. Okay, so this is breaking like a cardinal rule, like a cardinal
What?
sin rule, according to me.
Really?
Not really according to anyone else,
What is it?
but the fact to see this working is unbelievable. You have two links in this post.
Oh, wait. Let me share. Let me share how.
Usually when I post a link,
No, no, no.
it's done. And I've tested this so many
Let me
times,
explain to you.
man.
No, no, let me explain to you. This is for me on the course that I put together, and I'm not trying to pitch or sell to anybody, but on the course that I put together, I actually talk about this. The links here that you see were edited and they were added after the fact. So the link. So let me explain to you
Mm.
how I managed to get such a high reaction on this post. Do you see where it says, if you want my template for free, please like and write resume, follow me, and share this post for others to benefit. So I say, follow these and follow the 3 steps above and then share it. Okay. So basically, one of the things that I found is that if you want
Mm.
something from people, you have to actually tell them what you need from them. And people have been incredibly generous with me, and they've actually followed my 3 steps. That's what I needed for me to give you my resume. Why? It's not because of the followers. or because of the email addresses, but because I truly want as many people as I can to benefit from this. So if I don't get people to actually like and comment and share, this post would have died at like 50,000 views. Okay.
Requesting.
So within 1 minute, you should be receiving the email
Okay.
in your inbox. Okay.
Okay. So that's like
So
automatic. All right.
yeah,
It's good. But why do I need to
now
write
you don't have
resume?
to. Now you don't even have to do that anymore. The problem that I've had, and some other people can benefit from this, is I've had, as you saw, 30,000 comments. LinkedIn will not allow me to respond to 30,000 people. There's no way. I will be banned temporarily from LinkedIn if I try to respond to, let's say, more than 100 comments per hour or whatever the number is.
Right.
So now, because I still want people to benefit from this, I'm actually updating my posts and putting the links at the top and at the bottom. I really want people to find this. It's not about getting the comments and the followers. I really want people to benefit from this. So after the fact, after it starts to take off, I actually put the link there so that people can benefit from it. But somehow still the post continues to grow like crazy.
And you were just at 84,745 profile
4 days
views.
ago.
And then the next day after this post, and we're sitting at like 126,000 as of a couple days ago, and it's probably in the 130s by now, to be honest.
130 is for what? What? Oh, 130 is
130,000
for
profile views,
profile
probably.
views. Yeah. Right
Oh,
now,
and then
yes, it is.
9,000 shares. Jeez,
Now
that's
it's
like
10,000 something.
off the charts. Maybe I'll show you guys my shield in a second. Oh, there's 131,000. That's a day ago. Oh my god. So like, but dude, even okay, normal posts. Okay, so like 459, 189. These are normal, right? Like these are really attainable. Like I do this.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of need a system like this, what I have highlighted here, to really like explode. Because I've seen these kind of posts go viral before. I mean, it's just being really giving.
That's the whole point.
That's what it is. Okay, and it's the perfect offer
Mm-hmm.
for LinkedIn too, because
I want to tell. Sorry,
this is
Jordan,
what the
sorry.
site's for.
Yeah, but I want to tell you one thing because this almost backfired on someone that I really, really like. One of my connections. I am developing a friendship with him. I am actually helping him a lot. He's taking my course on how to monetize. He was actually, I wrote about him anonymously, that he was going to get evicted from his home with his wife because he couldn't afford his hydro, his rent, nothing. He approached me and he said that he was interested in making money off of LinkedIn. I said, okay, great. He said, okay, I will pay you in 2 weeks when I get paid. I thought, you know what? I'll give you access now. You pay me $3, okay? So that you know that you're serious, you're committed. There's a real transaction. You pay me the rest later. I don't care. I build relationships based on trust. And then he was like, oh, that's amazing. Really, you open it up for me? I was like, yeah, sure. If you don't pay me, you don't pay me, whatever. I mean, I believe in karma. If you believe or not, it doesn't matter. I think that karma exists. Whatever. Within 1 week, he made $10,000. He messaged me yesterday or the day before. Now he's charging $1,500 for a resume. Now, the reason why I want to talk about him anonymously still, I'm not going to throw him under the bus, is he actually copied my format once he realized that this format was working. And people, because I built really solid relationships, people were like, hey, Brian, this guy is copying your format. I said, oh, interesting. So I reached out to him. I know I always give people the benefit of the doubt. I reached out to him and I said, hey, so-and-so. People are starting to get really angry and they are reporting you. And I don't want that to happen to you because I know that you have really good values. I know that you're a really good guy. Now, people don't appreciate if you copy me so quickly and you want to just piggyback on whatever I've been able to achieve, people will not appreciate that and they will not bring themselves closer to you. So watch out. And he says, oh, I'm going to delete it. And he deleted it. So you see, you see that post up there, the one with the fan and the light? That is the guy who was going to get evicted. And he sends me this picture with the light on his ceiling, and he said, or he didn't say anything. I said to him, what does this mean? You saw the light, as in you just found, gold or something? And he's like, no, dude. He's like, I've been able to pay Hydro because of you. I get a roof over my head because of you. I
If
said,
you,
wow, that's amazing. It's so powerful to be able to help someone not sleep on the street.
if you want help, do the following. So what does help mean in this scenario?
Just people who want access to the same program they've put together.
Right.
But basically, here's the thing. Here's the reason why I don't give away the link right away.
Why
If
did
I give you
this
the
why did this
link,
do horribly? 39 and 28. See, now I'm being all superficial. I'm looking at just likes and comments. But
so that one bombed because I tagged my
mm,
wife, and my wife, I don't know why the LinkedIn algorithm, I'm never going to claim that I know the algorithm
connecting with
because
your wife.
I'm never going to claim that I know the algorithm, but something is wrong with the algorithm. Because if you have someone, at the time, I don't know how many followers I had, let's say 58,000. If you have someone who is promoting someone who is very small, in the real world, you would think that, oh my God, let's say that Bill Gates came and said, Jordan Paris is amazing, right? Everybody would want to hire you. I was basically doing the exact same thing for my wife. I was saying, like, my wife is amazing. She's, my rock. She's the one who supports me. Thanks to her, I've been able to grow. So I
Right.
tagged her, but I never tag anybody because it just doesn't work. A lot of people tag. They're like tag machines. I
Oh
never
yeah,
tag.
it's hilarious. It actually I'm gonna go on a
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a mini rant. Like here, it comes across as very needy,
Yeah.
especially when you don't know the other person or the other. You may know the other person, but the other person doesn't know you. You've not had any interactions before. I have people tagging me all day, as I'm sure you do too,
Hmm.
Brian. And the way it comes across for me, it's like the little kid that's it's like screaming out like, here, look at me, look at me. It's the theatrical narcissist that needs to like do stuff to like get noticed and get validation. It's just it's very needy, and I don't like it. Now I like when it's okay when friends tag me and stuff, people that I've had meaningful conversations and they tag me and stuff, and they don't do it every single day, right? It's something maybe that's relevant to me instead of just like just this whole big like 10 lines of like random people that I'm mushed
Yeah.
in with just to
Yeah.
like get my like and get my comment. Like that's extra, man.
Can I drop some good value for the 80 some people who are actually watching here right now?
Yeah.
80 people. So if you want to know how I help this post go crazy, the formula, the recipe behind it is a few different steps. The first one is you have to have really clear text. Let me explain to you why. You don't
Mm,
control who's going to watch your content. Okay, a lot of people are very nichey, right? They write to a specific niche, and the language behind it is very complex. You cannot control whether this is going to be read by someone in India, Nigeria, Argentina, Canada. You cannot control that. LinkedIn will spread it in small chunks to different people. You need to ensure that anybody who's reading your post can understand it. And not only that, that it actually speaks to them, that they want to actually engage with your post. The second one is, of course, the fact that I didn't give the link right away. I was making people crave that link.
how long did you wait to edit this link in
Oh, I
there?
just did like, I don't know, half an hour
And
ago.
this was a
Okay.
week ago.
This was on Friday, I think, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. Okay. Now, and here's the third one. And this is, believe me, this works. Maybe it doesn't work for you on the first attempt, but over time it works. When you post, walk away. Just shut down your LinkedIn, shut down your app, shut down your browser, go away. Just leave it. Don't go. Many people just sit on that post refreshing, hoping that people show up and that there's a comment and they will reply right away and they will do the ad mention and they will like their own comment. Believe me, just post and walk away. Go spend some good time with your family. Go do
Be
something
be
productive.
be an elusive object of desire in a way. Don't give it right away. like at the exact second, right? Maybe?
No,
Am I
but
off?
I mean the engagement with people.
Uh-huh.
Don't engage whatsoever. This is not about you. It's about your
Okay.
community. Let your community engage with them within themselves. Then you can come back later, an hour, two, three, four, a day later. I was actually so concerned about killing my own post that even when it was at 800,000 views, I didn't even want to open it. I didn't even want to know how many views my post had. And I'm not, this is not being paranoid or being,
Mm-hmm.
these are observations that I've made that actually work. And I can say now that my post is about to hit 3 million views. This is what you actually need to do if you want your post to grow. There are a lot of people, and here's another thing that I'm going to say. If you share your link of your post and you send it to people, that's not going to help you grow. If you want the views, you actually have to let your post work organically. If you send it to people, LinkedIn has become really smart. They know whether people are catching that post off of the feed, your own news feed,
Mm-hmm.
or whether you're sending it on a WhatsApp group or a private group or a
So
Telegram
pods.
group. Sure.
Exactly.
So pods don't work.
I got you.
They don't work for multiple reasons, not only because of that. I've never felt so commoditized in my entire life.
Commoditized.
I spent 3 hours after work just answering meaningfully to every single person's post to add value. And what did I get? Thanks for on my own post.
Oh
Thanks for
yeah.
sharing. Thanks for sharing. Great sharing. Love your sharing. I was like, seriously? This is what it's become? I was
I
like, I don't
know.
want to be associated with you.
I
I
know.
don't want this anymore. I think I lasted less than a week. I was like,
Yeah.
this is not for me. Like, honestly, I have better things to do than to try to grow my posts artificially to try to pretend that someone is interested in my engagement, in my value. If you're
What
not
if
interested, great. You're not interested. Go
Sure.
away.
Sure. What if you're in a pod and maybe you don't have there's no way you have a definitive 100% answer to this, but what if you're in a pod with 10 close-knit people? Does that still kill your post, do you think?
If you're sharing the link to your post, it will always kill it. It doesn't necessarily mean, I'll tell you more. It doesn't necessarily mean that the numbers that you get to, or that people get to see are bad, but I've seen a lot of posts. Two things are happening. And let me tell you both. The first one is, if you're sharing the link, you might get the 1, 2, 3, 500 likes and comments, but the exposure of that post will never go crazy to the 3 million mark. Okay, it will go to 30,000, 50,000, maybe 100,000 if you're very lucky, but it will never
Sure.
go crazy because LinkedIn knows that you're gaming the system. Okay,
Hmm.
so if you want this to work really well, just be organic and just build a community, a real community around you. And the second one, we spoke about it just 2 minutes ago, tagging. Don't tag anybody. Just
Sure.
don't force people to engage with your content. If they're not interested, they will not engage. If they are interested, they will. And whenever they engage with your content, let them engage with other people.
Mm,
Encourage them. Tell them, hey, go engage with other people. Grow. I will not be here to entertain everybody. I have other things to do. But the
sure.
truth is, it just doesn't work. That is what actually kills your post
Oh
too.
yeah. I believe
Big
that.
time.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now let's go through this.
I
What
love
we
how
were
you're
talking about
showing
earlier.
that.
$3,000 thanks to LinkedIn in a few days. And you've posted this many times over the past few months. You've made
I
a
can
lot
show you.
of money through LinkedIn
Yeah.
in the past couple of months. So what are we like? What is it here? Just do the following if you want the link to what is it? Oh, 90 minutes to watch, sharing my videos so you can earn money. What videos?
So let me see.
Where do I go?
Oh, these are
You share the link manually, right?
yeah. So I have 4 videos, 1.5 hours each. And this is my program to teach everybody my recipe, how to make money, how to basically deliver services to other people so that you can make money and they can get some value out of you. So one of the things that I help a lot of people with is basically I used to write a lot of resumes for people. And then I changed my mind and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to write resumes anymore. I'm going to actually
Yeah, that's
teach people
work, man.
how to write their own resumes. Because I believe in teaching people how to fish, not fish for them. A lot of people say to me, can I pay you so that you like and comment on my posts? I'm like, no, you cannot pay me to like and comment on your posts.
No.
You can pay me for me to teach you how to make money if you want, but you cannot bribe me for me to just go and drive your posts up. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sell my soul for money.
Yeah.
If I don't feel engaged with your value, I'm not going to comment. Now, having said that, there are three types of people, and for anybody who's watching, three types of contents that I engage with. Number one, people that I love. Okay. Now that this is the first time, by the way, that Jordan and I are speaking. Okay. But I know that Jordan has an amazing personality, and Jonaya has
Thank you.
always spoken so highly of Jordan and his work ethic and everything. So
Thank you.
the
Appreciate that.
first one is people that I love. Let's say that I'm scrolling through my news feed and I see Anthony, I see Dave, I see Jonaya, now you, Jordan, and I see you right away. The first thing that I do is I like right away.
Oh,
Without
yeah.
even reading anything. Why do I do that? Because I am generous.
Yeah,
I just want to help you.
that's why I look. That's why I mean I saw this and I literally just thought like awesome. The same
Yeah,
principle there. Like I don't have to think about like there's
no.
no strategy in engaging with Brian. Like I'm not like I don't even remember writing this. Like, I'm not looking to like get anything from him. I didn't even I didn't even ask for like I didn't write gold. I didn't even ask for like the course. I don't know. I just said awesome. Like this is badass, you
I
know?
appreciate it. I appreciate it. So, first rule is if you come across someone that you actually appreciate, give them some love. Believe me, that love is going to come back. When you're caring and you give to someone, that is going to come back tenfold. So just be generous, just like people, okay? But don't stop at that. One of the things that I say all the time is when you like and you don't leave a comment, nobody can follow you. Nobody can connect with you because
Sure.
nobody knows how you think. So liking and not commenting means that you're just wasting your time, basically. Sure, you're giving some love, but you're not helping yourself.
Yeah.
If you're here on LinkedIn, help yourself. You're spending hours on LinkedIn. Help yourself. Grow just like I have.
Yeah,
Look
I
at those
agree.
hockey sticks. Grow.
Yeah, one of the there are some people that you know that I try to help that just they just don't see the success on LinkedIn. They've never created on LinkedIn before, and then they try to just jump right into it, and it's like, whoa, like who is this person? They're just not an integral part of the community yet. They don't comment on anyone's post. Nobody, they don't like anyone's post. Nobody like knows about them. Nobody cares about them. That's the kind of the key word there. No one cares about them, as
Right.
crappy as that is to say. And excuse me, I'm the way more immature version of Brian here. Brian says things much in a much more mature, wiser way, and I'm just more
With an
brash.
accent. It's just the
And with an
accent.
accent, that would be cool to have. But yeah, I think an integral part, a great like you just have to become an integral part of the community to I believe if you really want to, you know, build up engagement for yourself and gain followers for yourself. I think you gotta take some initiative and comment on a bunch of other people's posts. And
Mhm.
it's not something that has to take really long time, you know, just whatever sticks out at me, you know. Like I don't know. It's not that hard, but
Mhm.
really what you're saying, help yourself by doing that.
Totally. Totally. How much more? How much longer do we have? How much longer do you want to go?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, just whenever it's feeling natural to end things. But like, so okay, what is this money coming in for? What are people paying you for, Brian?
So the two most popular services that I offer are writing resumes. Now it's become teaching people how to write their own resumes.
Right,
Okay.
right, right, right. Yep. Sorry,
So here's what
I
I want to
remember
tell
that.
people. I started with my first resume. I charged $150. and it took me 10 hours to write it. Why? Because I had no idea what I was doing. But I am really good at Googling stuff. And basically, I've realized if I don't know something, I go on Google and I figure it out. So it took me 10 hours to write my first resume, $150. And I said to myself, there's no chance I'm ever going to write another resume for $150. So I then increased it to $450, but it only took me 5 hours the next time. And then I increased it to for different reasons. I will tell you how it jumped. It jumped to $499, and then it took me 4 hours. And then I increased it to $560, and it took me 3 hours. And then I $999, and then $1120, and then $1499, and now people are paying $3,000 plus tax for my resume. I don't think that there's anyone else out there charging that much. Now, because of what I did recently, just 4 days ago, I'm just giving it away for people. If someone really wants me to write a resume, I will write it, but it's going to cost me a lot. But I don't want to necessarily write the resumes. I just want people to write their own. So that's why I gave away the resume, the template, and I gave the instructions for people to just go and write it themselves.
Is this replicable in other industries on this
Absolutely.
platform besides resume writing? Because
Yeah,
I think you just have the best service for this platform. Like the
I appreciate it.
resume, sharing the resume. Like I
Yeah.
think that I mean it's just like what I said earlier, what this platform is really made for. Like I'm trying to think of what else someone else could do.
So
Does
here's
anything come to mind?
the second service that I offer, which is equally or more successful than resumes, which is helping people prep for their interviews. People are paying
Mm,
me almost $5,000 to help them crack the interviews because my success rate is 98%. So even recruiters are now coming to me and willing to split the income that they take from the candidates and say, if you mentor my candidate and they get through, I pay you $5,000. And the reason is because they tell me that their success rate is it's 8%. So they have to send 12 people away as candidates for different interviews, and only one typically gets through. For me, 98%, 98 out of 100 get through on the first interview. They get the offer on the first interview. So they're like, yeah, I want you to help me increase my rate, my conversion rate to, let's say, 50%. I said, I'll take you to 98% because that's what I do. So that's why recruiters are sending me people. So these are two services. Now, there was someone else who took my course as well, and she didn't even know this. But one of the questions that I ask people is, what do you enjoy? What skills do you have? And this person figured out, I am a really good writer. And she wanted to write LinkedIn profiles, like the about section. Now she's charging $300 to other people, and she
oh,
connects with other people, and she charges them $300. Takes her a couple of hours. And she's not from a North American country. She's from a developing country. And $300, believe me, is a
sure.
ton of money.
So
It's like a month
maybe
salary.
somebody can help optimize someone's LinkedIn profile. But, maybe you could start out doing it for other people, right, Brian, and charging I don't know, right? I don't
Yeah.
know what kind of money you would charge for that, but and then what would you do? Then you could start teaching people how to do it and make it be like a low ticket thing and just do like like a post like this maybe with this formula, or I have no idea, man. I I I get it, but I don't. And you don't want to like copy Brian too.
I'm going to tell you, I don't get upset about this. You can copy me if you want. A lot of other people are going to start reporting you. And this is because of the loyalty that I've built
Mm,
with these people, because I share everything that I know. I don't withhold any information, any knowledge. I want people to do, when I wish people to do well, I wish them to do better than me. You know how there are people who wish you well, but they are like, I wish you
don't
to
do
do
better
well,
than
but
me,
I have
yeah.
to, yeah, don't do better than me. I wish people to do 100 times better than me. I want to be able to learn from other people. But it's not
Yeah.
only that, it's that, when, I always say this, X Factor, when people get the golden buzzer, I
Hmm.
actually cry. I'm telling you, I cry when I watch other people do well. It's like the hope. It's like, watching people live their dreams, I'm like, oh my God, I wish you even better. Like, what I want you to get the most out of life.
Sure.
In the meantime, I'm doing my part to try to live my life to the fullest. But that doesn't mean that I need to step on other people and prevent them from living their life to their fullest. I
I
just want other
agree.
people to do well.
I agree. Just because others do, like others' success doesn't mean that there's less in the
No,
world for you. That's what I mean. That's like socialists, people who believe in socialism, like tend seem to believe that other people's success detracts from the
yeah.
potential success that they could have. But I mean, what do you like? Do you think if Jeff Bezos, like just and Bill Gates, they decided to sit on their couches, like, do you think that wealth would be elsewhere? No, like there would just be a massive, there would be a massive amount, like less, there would be significantly less wealth in the world. Like it's just, the socialism thing doesn't really make sense to me. And similarly, you know, not wanting others to do well because that detracts from your success. That doesn't really make sense to me either. They go
I
hand in
get
hand. I
exactly
think
what you're saying.
socialism and exactly what you just said. Yeah.
I get. I'll give you two very good examples how I've empowered two people that I love here from LinkedIn. One of them is Jonayed again. I mean, Jonayed is always with us, but Jonayed, I gave him all my recipes how to make money. He's making money. I'm super happy for him. But I never said to him,
Oh, he's on the
"Hey,
resume train too, right?
yeah, he's doing that." Okay. I never said to him, yes, I will give you this and I will teach you. Actually, I gave it to him for free. I said, just come join my course because we've developed a friendship. I said, just come join. I just want to help you. So he joined, but I never said to him, oh, you stick to the US and I will stick to Canada. No, just come, take the people. Whoever comes to you, just go take them. Just want to see you do well. So I never put any boundaries. And then there's this other guy, James Falk. He's from Hong Kong. He actually sat through my session. He learned how to monetize. And on top of that, he knew that about my interview sniper course. He was like, I want to know what you're doing. He had been incredibly successful as a recruiter. But what he found is that he had lost his soul into
Mm.
doing what he does. He wanted to actually care more for people. I taught him how I care for people and why my sessions are 3 to 4 hours long. And now he's in Hong Kong, and basically he has the interview sniper of Hong Kong. I don't get any royalties or anything from him. He paid me to learn exactly what it is that I do for people. And the reason why I agreed to give him my recipe is because I cannot possibly empower the entire world on my own. I cannot help everybody get on their feet on my own. So I want more people who are qualified, who have good values, who will just help other people really get ahead. So I said, yeah, sure, I'll teach you. I'll tell you every single little thing that I do and why I have 98% conversion rate
Mm.
so that you can do it for people in Hong Kong or wherever it is that they are coming from.
You're
And
just
we have an amazing career.
the career expert, man. Looking at
No,
this right
dude, like I
now.
didn't even
You
study
got
any of this stuff. This is not even my career. My career is in IT, and that's the beauty. No
uh,
one knows on LinkedIn what I've studied. I've been in IT since I was 13 years old. I'm 36 now. I've been in IT for 23 years. On LinkedIn, I never talk about IT. Who cares about IT? I don't even care to talk about IT. I care about empowering people and getting them back on their feet. I want people to feed their families. That's what moves me. Like I've never felt this fulfilled in my life.
nice.
When someone tells me, wow, I am back on my feet, I can feed my children, my wife, I have peace of mind, I can sleep at night. That means so much more than watching code compile on the screen,
Sure.
you know? So I don't know, that's my story.
I love this,
And
man.
just so you know, this all happened, and I tell the story there on my site, on the About section. This all started as a fluke. This goes back to giving, okay? I wrote an article. By the way, people, my advice is if you want engagement, don't write articles. That's my advice to
Ah,
everybody.
ah,
Articles, people stay away from articles because people associate articles with long text, and people don't have much time to read long text. So they prefer to stick with the regular posts or videos, short videos, not very long. So I appreciate everybody who has been here for 50 minutes. A lot. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. You've inspired me to reach new levels, Brian. Is there anything
Thank
that you want to share with people? Anything you want people to like go do right now? Anywhere they can
you.
get help right now? Best place?
I, I'd love people to try to unlock their own potential. I'd like them to team up, and not necessarily with me, but with anyone that they believe can help them. You would be surprised how many people reach out to me on a daily basis saying, Brian, I've been inspired by you for months. And this is like the first time I hear from them. Forget about the fact that they
Yeah,
didn't like or engage on my posts.
yeah.
You could have reached out anytime because if I am in front of my phone, I will reply to you right away. I never play any games with people. I reply right away. So reach
Brian
out to
doesn't
me.
play games.
Never, and that's why I'm married
I
because
heard,
my wife came from Miami.
yeah.
That's my wife was from Miami. She was living in Miami. I never played the game ever with any relationships.
Let me wait 2 hours to respond to this. You know, that's the game, man. Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was saying. I am when I actually gave up. I actually wrote a post about this. I gave up on my search for my other half, for my soulmate. I was like, I'm done because all these relationships
I've
were
given
about
up.
playing. No, don't give up. Don't give up. When the truth is, when you say that you give up, that's the moment when someone
Yeah.
appears in your life. Okay, typically that's what I've seen all the
Well,
time. When people give
I
up,
gave up a long time ago.
no, don't give up. You have everything to be happy. But
No, no,
I
I
had
gave
given
no,
up.
no, no. I gave up in that area. Like
No, I know, I know, I know
not
exactly.
any other
No,
area.
listen,
Obviously.
I had actually made a call in my mind. I said, I'm done with this. I mean, the fact that I have to play a game to thank someone for dinner or for whatever it is.
I agree.
Oh, she texted me. Do I have to wait an hour or 5 minutes? Do whatever your heart tells you. If your heart tells you that you want to message right away, message right away. And I'll tell you exactly why I do this. Because if I am not myself, I may actually regret later the fact that I was not perceived for who I am. So if my wife had not chosen me for who I am, and I would not have, or we would not have our beautiful children today, then I would have regretted it all my life because I would have known who she was, because hopefully she was who she portrayed herself to be. But I would have known, oh, she didn't meet the real Brian. And I would have always regretted that. Oh, had
Well,
I shown
then
the real Brian, then maybe things would have turned out a different way.
you're opening up yourself to the possibility of, I mean, you're far increasing the likelihood of divorce many years later,
True.
or, even, in a relationship, a breakup months later, because, you can be whoever you want for a couple hours, a couple days, a couple weeks, heck,
Hmm.
maybe even like a month or two or more. You know, but if you portray yourself that way, like then you just and they fall in love with that, like then you have to be like that.
I'm going to say something. This is what actually gets me out of trouble every time we have an argument, just like regular couples. I say to her, I was exactly who I am today. The fact that you fell in love with me back in the day, I mean, I was already the same way that I am today, you know? I try to be my best
Yeah,
version, yes, every single day. But I say to her, I never fooled you. I never showed you that I was one way and all of a sudden I changed. So she knows for a fact that
sure.
from day one, I was exactly the same way that I am today.
Well, Brian, always growing, changing, evolving, but at your core staying the same, staying who you are. This same, I can say the same for me. I always think that. I posted about it the other week or maybe even last week that, same thing. Always growing, changing, evolving, but at my core, always stay true
Yeah.
to who I am. I'm never changing who I am, So
And don't let anything get to your head. You know, you're
sure,
not
sure.
better than anybody else. You're just,
It's getting in my, it's getting in my head, this stupid TED talk, man. Like
oh, how's
I
that
keep,
going?
it's like this. I get really frustrated because it's just not flowing. It's not working. I feel I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then it's like, oh, I turned the corner. I feel like I'm turning the corner, and then I'm turning the corner, and then I'm turning the corner. And so I just hit this awful wall around when we texted that LinkedIn Live is like working again.
Hmm.
It was actually in the middle of me rehearsing it, and it's supposed to be 12 minutes, and I was at 18 minutes, or no, I was at 25 minutes. I wasn't even halfway through, and I was just like, this is just, I didn't even have the words. I was like sitting there in silence for like 30 seconds at a time. I like, when the night before, like the first time I ever rehearsed it, I was like, that's good. Like there's something here. There's gaps right now, but there's something here. And I'm like, wow. And I totally expect it today. Like I'm just gonna, I can't wait to see how much better it's gonna get. And then I'm just gonna get it down, and it's gonna be solid. And then I was like, oh my God, not again. I was really turning the corner this time. I was like turning the corner for good. But now what I did, I have all these, actually, I wonder if I can show you.
Let's see. I think you unplugged your microphone. It's unplugged. Yeah. No. He's coming back. Please don't go away. Not yet. Not yet. So, no.
No, I got you.
There.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Awesome.
Shockingly, we didn't really lose anyone. All right, I'm moving.
That's it.
So I'll show you the recent development here.
Let's see what's happening.
This is my TED talk on.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that's real dedication. This is not an improvisation.
They were just all thoughts.
Wow.
And unorganized, and so now I made a no column, a maybe column, and a yes, and I put all the yeses in chronological order.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've just been talking through that, and that's what wasn't working at all today. So I just decided that I am going to I'm gonna like write. I'm gonna look at every note card, every post-it note, and just like almost like a prompt.
Mm-hmm.
Just write it out on in Word and write all my thoughts on it. And so it'll essentially become like this script in a way. But of course, I'm gonna practice it so much so that it gets to the point where like it doesn't sound scripted at all, and it'll be fun. But that's where I'm at. So and that was right before we got on here, and I started hitting like this flow, and like it's a method that seems to be working. So so now I feel like I'm turning the corner again. But long story short, it's just been this roller coaster of emotion.
Let me leave you with a thought. Maybe
Sure.
this helps you.
Yeah.
And for everybody who's watching, this has to do with interviews. Well, you've probably never interviewed in your life. You don't need it, and you will never need to interview. But the most popular question out there is, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? A lot of people struggle with that question. That's
What's
the
the
number
right
one
way to
question.
answer that? Oh my gosh.
So typically people have an elevator pitch, 45 seconds, 60 seconds, somewhere around there. And they try to basically cramp all this history, journey, career into 45 to 60 seconds and make an impression. What I'm going to tell everybody is that my answer to that question is somewhere between 5 to 7 minutes long. And it's very entertaining, and it's very captivating, and I've never lost anybody. And actually, people comment, like the hiring managers comment on that, and I never memorize. So I want to leave you with this thought. I never memorize my answer to that question. I speak from my heart. So whenever I am giving my answer, I know what I want to talk about, but my answer goes all over the place. It starts here, it goes over here, then it goes back it's not chronological at all. I am all over the place on purpose because I don't want the person listening to me to know where I'm heading. Now, the reason why I don't remember or don't memorize this answer is because an interview is a very nerve-wracking environment, setting. So why am I going to make myself a tougher situation on myself? Why am I going to do that
By
to
having
myself?
to memorize something.
I'm not going to memorize it, because if I am remembering something, a little thing, and then I forget about it, then basically it derails everything for me. So I want to know what I want to speak about, and then just go with the flow. I just go and
Sure.
speak from my heart.
That's what I
So
do
keep that
whenever I
in
give a
mind.
presentation.
Mhm.
Like in every almost every in every yes in every single 100% of presentations I've ever given, a TED Talk is a different monster. I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit. I get what you're saying. And that's what I did last night, though. I was just speaking from the heart. Like I was, like I didn't have any script. I just had a bunch of note cards. I look at it, like, oh, it makes me think of this, and I just talk it, and it went pretty well. Didn't go so well today, but they, and I'll play victim here. Like they
Mhm.
want a full word draft from every speaker. They
It has
do,
to be like
and
impeccable.
that's due February 1st. So I do have to do that. What I wanted to do was like talk it all out like this, record it, get it transcribed. Um, wasn't working
Mhm.
out today,
Okay.
but but yeah, I know I totally get what you're saying. That's why I'm struggling with this process so much, Brian, because it isn't. I feel like I feel like it is. I am treating it differently, and I feel like I'm not just like doing it straight from the heart. And I think that's the way I'm used to. So I think it is. You're on to you're on to that. You're on to something, and yeah, I agree with you absolutely. But like interviews, man, like I've been interviewed on other shows and radio, whatever, over 50 times in the past year. And, I remember first one, so nervous, so nervous. And I actually
Why?
wrote
What do you
out
feel? What do you feel?
just my heart pounding.
Really?
My voice was quivering. And I had in my notebook, this person sent his questions in advance, and I had in my notebook all the answers I was supposed to say. So I only if I only had one correct answer for each. I wasn't speaking from the heart. But now it's like I just show up as me. I
Right.
prefer not
Right.
to see the questions. I don't want them. If you send them to me, I don't open the email. Like I can read in the preview. It's like here's a good, and I'm like, no, I don't like. I don't do that. I don't want that. I don't want to see it. Like I don't. It's gonna hijack my brain to like even see the questions. I
I'm
just want to
so
go off the cuff.
I'm so glad that you didn't have any questions for me, because when I asked you, it's because I mean I see you as this super professional podcaster, and I was like, maybe you have like a process, and I just didn't want to let you down.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, Jonayad speaks so highly of you, how methodic you are. I was like, I just want to ask. Maybe you have some questions. Maybe you want me to prepare some answers. But I'm so glad that you didn't have any questions for me that I could prepare, because we could just have a conversation. And this is what I tell candidates: don't be robotic. Whenever you go to an interview, try to turn it into a conversation. And there are methods
Yeah.
and techniques and best practices. Have a conversation, because I'll tell you more in 1 second, but because the person on the other side, they don't want to play hiring manager. They want to be treated like a human
A
being.
human. Yeah.
They want to be treated and connect with you on a personal level. So I'll tell you one more thing. When I go to an interview, I know nothing about the organization. I know nothing about the role, and I know nothing about the hiring manager. I just show up. And typically, and thank God my battery on my phone always is good, I walk into the building, I pull out my phone, I'm like, oh, great, it's Mary who's interviewing me. Great. And then I show up. I know nothing about the organization. I never focus on the organization or the role or the hiring manager as a hiring manager. I focus on who they are as people. Because when you do that, they are the ones who are deciding as people to give you a chance, because they think that you will be an asset to that team. The organization doesn't have any feelings. It's not a living being. The role doesn't have any feelings. The only one who has feelings is the person making a decision.
Mm-hmm.
So treat them like human beings, treat them like you would like to be treated, and then they will choose to give you an opportunity. It's so
Absolutely.
simple for me. Like, I don't know how, but yeah, it works. And
It's
actually,
just
when I
simple.
mentor
Yeah.
other people, they just get it. After 3, 4 hours, first interview, offer on the table.
Love
It's
it, man.
amazing.
You've given me a lot to think about and
I hope
do.
it
And
helps.
we talked a lot longer than I thought today. And I really enjoyed this, man. We really
Thank you.
just hit it off from the beginning, even when we weren't live. So, Brian, I appreciate you. Interviewsniper.com is your website, and, you're tagged in the post so people can follow you
I
there.
appreciate it.
Brian, thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thanks, everybody. Did he leave and he left me here? Jordan, come back. Jordan, you have to shut down this live. Can someone let